Hello, so War League is finally back. My target here is their number 3. Now this base is going to be pretty tough for me. He's got almost max level defenses, like you said, these cannons and these Ekvils are maxed out, though these archer towers. I say this cannon's not quite maxed, but yeah, pretty much everything is maxed out except for some walls, and the king is not maxed out, but like the queen is too. This base, it's got a couple island Inferno towers, so like this Inferno tower is considered an island, as well as this one, because you can't easily get like a queen to destroy those Inferno towers unless you can get past the walls. So that'll make this base tough to 3-star, because normally people have like Inferno towers all in their core, and when they're in the core it's a little bit easier to deal with, but when they're spread out like this, you have to really divide your resources carefully. Now, I was considering attacking from the bottom left side here, but I know if I send a siege machine through all this, there's a good chance my siege machine could die before it even opens up the core, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of walls to get through, plus all the defenses, and the castle troops are right here as well. So I decided against that. Something I'm going to try to do to try to mitigate the island infernos is I'm going to try to do a siege machine through this path here. That way it'll get me access to this inferno, and then also be able to get into the core. And another benefit of that is you can see the castle troops are here, but when they deploy, they're going to deploy this way, and the way he's got his core set up, I can use 1 freeze to freeze this Inferno Tower, the Eagle Artillery, and the Town Hall, which is 1 freeze. With the Island Infernos, I'm also bringing extra freezes, so I'll be able to use 1 freeze on this, and then I'll probably use 1 or 2 freezes on the stuff on the core, just because it will depend on how long it takes me to kill everything. And then I will have one leftover freeze, hopefully, for the last one, if it gets to that point. I'm really just expecting a high percentage 2-star, just because I'm not super confident about attacking this base. I will get 2 stars at least, so it'll be good. Yeah, I think that's the end of my planning, so now we will go ahead and watch my attack. Alright, so we talked about my strategy. Now you can see my army at the bottom, and here's the replay. Start off dropping the giants and the witches and bowlers like always. Get the siege machine down. I did make a couple of mistakes in this attack. That freeze is actually a little bit unnecessary there, because he wasn't even targeting my big units, he was targeting skeletons. You can see here this Inferno Tower is locked onto my king, and I was a little bit slow to react because I dropped the freeze, and I didn't even get to use the king's ability. But I'm trying to rage my troops here to get into the center. I'm able to freeze his castle troops and trying to rage through here. Now pay attention to my queen. Instead of going down here where there's units to attack, my queen is deciding to attack this wall, which I can't understand why. I really could use my queen in there. Just letting all my units die in there without support. I had debated bringing a heal spell, because I felt that there could have been a lot of traps and stuff in the middle, which I could have saved a lot of troops for my queen in the future. At this point, I have 2 stars already, so this is all just extra. And I feel like I had a chance to perhaps go for 3, just because I had a lot of witches and skeletons still going, as well as a freeze, jump, and rage, as you can see at the bottom. I usually try to delay my queen's ability as much as I can. I was forced to use it here, because if I didn't, the queen would have died. But you see my queen wasted a lot of her shots just running around. You can see here I've got 2 witches and my queen left. But you see there's this whole pocket up there. I dropped the gem spell early just so I wouldn't have to think about it. And I dropped a raid just to, because I knew I would have to get things down. We see that witch got killed by this Tesla here. And now it's basically just my queen and that one witch down there. And that freeze was perhaps a little bit early, but it really doesn't matter. So like I said, I wasn't expecting 3 stars, but 88% is not bad. Now here's some other attacks. Here's our number 1 Khador against their number 1. He's got the same sort of army that I have, except for he brought some wall breakers. He's got a witch over there to help funnel. But here he's dropping the rest of his army. Yeah, see his opponent, he's got all of his Inferno Towers right next to the Town Hall, so you can basically freeze all of them with just a couple of freeze spells, which I would very much prefer attacking this kind of base, although he is almost, well, probably does have maxed out walls, but just because he's seen in the middle, he can just freeze everything. But yeah, he's got a very compact core there. Nicoris is just able to freeze everything and uses high level troops to power through everything. And he's got a freeze left over for the Eagle Artillery, although that freeze is a little bit late because they got all 3 shots down. Now this point you're just really depending on the witches, but you can see the only splash damage he has is the Eagle Artillery and potentially some traps. So he's actually in a very good spot here, except he's got to try to take down these walls with just these troops. And now his warden got locked down, so the warden's going to go down here. But he still got his queen up there. I watched this live actually, and I was just thinking how long till the Eagle Artillery targets the queen. You see the cannon got a couple shots off on the queen. I'm not sure why the Eagle Artillery didn't target the queen there, because it was a highest HP thing, but you can see now it is. So at this point I was thinking, okay, his queen's gonna go down, so how's he gonna kill this thing? But it's the last defense left, so but he's just gotta get some skeletons in there. And are there any traps blocking these skeletons? No. So now it's just, he just needs those skeletons to kill it, and you can probably assume it's gonna happen, so. Yeah, that's a very good result against a maxed out base. It's getting 3 stars, so that's a good job by him. Alright, now here we have my other competitor. I like to compete with Khador and Ryan up top with our performances. Now Ryan, he likes to do he does the giant switches and bowlers, but he has a little bit of variation in the army, and he likes to bring a queen walk, which I like to mix in too, but I think Ryan does a little more than me. You see he's got a square base going here. So he starts out the queen walk up top there, and then he gets the other part of the funnel at the bottom there. So it's always important to funnel, which Ryan is doing. And that queen has no chance of going down because it's killing all the defenses targeting it. Although you don't want to lose healers against air defenses. But you can see now the way that queen moved down and joined the rest of its army, now these healers can help out the army instead of just helping the queen walk, because on my attacks my queen is starting out in the middle. But if you can get the queen walk going and then have the queen move into your main force, then that actually can be very helpful, because you don't need to bring heal spells, because the healers will do it for you. You see the majority of his army did go in the middle, although his king went down to the bottom there. But he's got more than enough troops to deal with this stuff in the middle. See, See those tornado traps going? You see he's still got healers going in the middle there. So at this point he has like almost all the major defenses down. Arsenal just has to deal with these buildings on the outside. And yeah, like he didn't even have to use his queen ability until now. But this huge army at the bottom is going to be more than enough to clean up the rest of this base. And he's still got the queen with a healer. Let's fast forward a bit. Queen almost went down there, but now dealing with these walls, the queen can get healed before it has to be used again. Yeah, these big bases like this, witches perform very well against, because defenses need to be concentrated to take out witches. And now the queen can just deal all of its damage while the skeletons are distracting. So this is a very good performance by our top two attackers this round. Alright, I think this will be the last attack I show. This is our number 6 boss, Dunscintra, or however he pronounces that, I'm not sure. So he's got the same kind of attack that we use up top. You see this is a fairly high upgraded base he's going against. So he's got a good spread of units here. Now that king, it would have been better if he could have placed it a little bit more to the left, just because it's getting caught onto that gold mine. And so he's not going to have that king going into the core. Which isn't the worst thing, just because he can tank for all these troops, but and you also notice he did the siege machine on the opposite side of the base because his town hall is way up here. So now the siege machine can be used to its most effective, because it'll go through as much walls as it can. Healing through the Inferno towers and castle troops. See, I think against Inferno towers you can either heal through them or freeze them. Usually if they're single target, you either have to freeze them or rage through them. You probably could have used that ward ability a little bit sooner against the Infernos. You see right now he can just heal the rest of his units through the base, and almost all the defenses are gone now. He still even has a rage spell. So I think this is just a good use of units. So I like how this attack is very effective. He still got his queen going, and then all the other witches and bowlers, I guess, can just tank for the queen while the queen tanks for or kills everything else. This guy's got a bit of a trap base because you see all these skeleton traps up there, and then all the Teslas are up there too. But at this point, it doesn't matter. So you see another 3 stars. So we actually performed very well this round. We can take a look at our scores. We got 35 out of 15 attacks. That's a little bit more. That's like what, 2.3 stars per attack or something, which is pretty good. You can see we're in 2nd place right now, and actually we're facing that 1st place team next round. So this next round could be the most important round for this whole thing. You can see a lot of the other clans have not been as efficient as us in the 1st place, so but we need to get a 2nd place. So yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with our clan so far. We've had a much better matchup like compared to our last War League, because you say we had the same amount of Town Hall 12s as these guys. I think we had the same amount of Town Hall 11s, but then towards the bottom we have the rest Town Hall 10s, and they had 3 Town Hall 9s. But yeah, so far so good. We will do the next round tomorrow, and thanks for watching. This was not done after I finished recording. And JR, this is not the only time you're going to 3-star. But here's our number 10, JR. He's doing our Giants, which is bowler's attack. He's got a very much like his spell distribution here, with the heal spells, rages, and then the freezes. Now he's able to kill all these buildings on the side, so now all of his troops is going to go down the middle. He's able to freeze all these infernos, and all these Teslas are very compact in the center here. But now he's got his entire army in the middle here. He can rage all of them. I'd like to see a heal spell drop a little earlier. Drop the heal spell. Alright, so he drops a heal spell at the bottom there, and I think he drops another one. Yeah, so I would have liked if he dropped the heal spells a little bit earlier. He could have saved a lot more troops, but he gets enough of his troops healed back up. And now his heroes are becoming his wall breakers. Hopefully he can keep his queen alive. That arch tower might get out. Oh, nope, just got off range. Yeah. So when you have your cleaning up base like this, your queen is your most powerful unit. Well, your queen's the most powerful unit anyway, but yeah, now he's just cleaning up, and then he's only got one defense tower to deal with. Let's fast forward a bit. Oh boy, the arch tower can just one shot and the queen will kill it, but all those skeletons. Oh, you got the queen. But it doesn't matter. Alright, so that's another one of our 3-stars. Good job, JR. And yeah, I'm going to add this at the end of the video, but yeah, thanks for watching.